Here's a little more on that 68 Mustang that I'm working on. I pulled out the seats, the carpet, and some crappy foam that somebody had put in here. Back section doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's had some goop put on to cover something. And there's some seam sealer for some reason along the edge of this seat riser. No big deal. I did find that there's some rust back here in the wheelhouse. And so I'm not going to cut the whole wheelhouse out. I'll probably just make a patch, cut that out, and replace it. Passenger side floor, not that it matters, but it's not bad. But I am going to replace these pans anyway. But now you can see up front here, you know, there's some holes and just this really scaly rust, you know, which makes me a little concerned that they may have some issues up in the cowl. But I kind of expected to see this, so I'm not overly surprised. Same on the driver's side, you can see, and there's a hole going down to the that's into the frame rail, which I'm replacing as well. Again, I'm not surprised. It's pretty typical on these Mustangs. You know, they didn't do anything to really protect these cars underneath. So I'll work on getting the floor pans out. First thing I'll do is cut out the seat risers. And what I normally do, I may have shown this before, but I'll show it again. You know, you can cut out these spot welds if you want, and it works. A lot of times I'll just cut a line right on the edge here below the spot weld, and that way I have a template that I know this is going to fit back into. These pieces don't matter so much down here because this is going to be cut out. I can just butcher off, you know, drill through the spot welds and not worry about that. But over here on the inside area against the hump, I'll clean this off. I'll cut below the spot welds, and then when I set this pan back in later, I'll have a perfect alignment to where it was originally. So just a little, what I think is a pretty easy way to do it. You just don't want to cut so deep that you cut into the structure, like the hump in the center, the tunnel. You just want to cut through this part, you know, the first layer, and the same way over here on the rocker panel side. You just want to cut through this first layer of metal. Don't cut into the rocker panel. So I'll get started on it. I started on the driver's side floor pan, and for the most part it was as expected. I knew it was going to be rough and crumbly, but as you can see way down there in the center of the frame, that's a rot hole through the frame rail. Now if you look on the outside, that rail looks pretty good, and this is a fuel line right here, but the rail looks decent. I knew there was going to be issues, and that's why I went ahead and got some. The metal's pretty soft. I don't see with the light going back, but the metal's pretty soft up into this toe area. So I'm going to have to do something with that. And I decided that the seat riser, let me come back over here so you can see, the front edge of it was rotted off, and I just decided I'm just going to replace it. It's only a few bucks and make it simpler. It does have a lot of rust on the underside, but that doesn't really affect the strength. But I was more concerned with not having this front edge. So that'll be replaced, and as you can see, it looked okay on the bottom, you know, as far as paint or undercoating, but on the inside it was just mush. But that's to be expected, and that's why you buy full-length floor pans.